Bhati is dazzling. Swalakshana, your own marks. Vilakshitaihi, by the impressions. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. O Gadadhar Krishna, our kingdom is now being marked by the impressions of your feet, and therefore it appears beautiful. But when you leave, it will no longer be so. Purport. There are certain particular marks on the feet of the Lord which distinguish the Lord from others. The marks of a flag, thunderbolt, an instrument to drive an elephant, umbrella, lotus, disc, etc. are on the bottom of the Lord's feet. These marks are impressed upon the soft dust of the land where the Lord traverses. The land of Hastinapur was thus marked while Lord Sri Krishna was there with the Pandavas. And the kingdom of the Pandavas thus flourished by such auspicious signs. Kunti Devi pointed out these distinguished features and was afraid of ill luck in the absence of the Lord. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Kevayam, 39, no? Yeah. Neyam shobhishyate tatra yathe danim gadadhara tvat padair ankita bhati swalakshana vilakshitaihi. Na iyam shobha ishyate tatra. So, iyam is this land. Shobha. Shobha means very beautiful. Na shobha ishyate. It will not be beautiful anymore. Na iyam shobha ishyate tatra. When it will not be beautiful anymore? When Gadadhar Krishna, his tvat padair ankita bhati. So right now it is very beautiful. Why is it very beautiful? Because the land is covered with the impressions of the marks on the soles of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So Krishna's lotus feet, or the soles of Krishna's lotus feet, have some very special marks, very, very auspicious marks. What are they? A flag, a thunderbolt, an elephant goad, umbrella, lotus, chakra, disc. These are the marks that you'll find only on the lotus feet of Krishna. And when Krishna walks on the land, so of course we know in Vrindavan, Krishna never wore sandals or shoes, but apparently even in Hastinapur, right, Krishna's marks are, the marks of his lotus footprints are impressed on the soft dust. And because of this, the land became very beautiful. The land became very beautiful means everything was very, very opulent. Everything was very, very auspicious because of Krishna's presence in Hastinapur. So this is after the battle of Kurukshetra. And now Yudhishthir Maharaj is, he'll be the emperor. He's the emperor of the world. And Krishna is with Yudhishthir Maharaj. And after spending some time pacifying Yudhishthir Maharaj, now Krishna has duties. He has to go back to Dwarka. There are devotees in Dwarka also who've been away from him for such a long time. And they're waiting for Krishna. So Krishna has to go there. And Kunti Maharani, when Krishna is about to leave, Kunti Maharani is offering these prayers. So in this particular prayer, Kunti Maharani is saying, up until now, everything is very beautiful. Everything is very auspicious in Hastinapur. It's not going to be like this after you leave. In other words, please don't leave. Please stay here with us. So wherever Krishna is present, that place becomes most beautiful. So Srila Prabhupada, quoting Chanakya Pandit's shloka, says that when something is intimately related with something else, it appears very beautiful. Example is night sky. On a full moon night, when the moon is bright and there are so many stars in the sky, the night sky looks very beautiful. Or when girls are usually beautiful, but when she's married and she's with her husband, she becomes exceptionally more beautiful. Or a person who may be ugly, but when he is very learned, because of his knowledge, he becomes very attractive. He becomes very attractive, even though he may not be beautiful. Similarly, when Krishna is present, because of Krishna's presence, even a state, a kingdom, if a kingdom has a good ruler, it has good government, the kingdom is very beautiful. Everyone is satisfied. The kingdom becomes very beautiful. The state is beautiful. Similarly, when Krishna is present, then everything becomes very beautiful and everything is opulent. There is no lacking in anything. So we may think, oh, how fortunate was the earth when Krishna was present personally. Everything must have been so nice and so opulent. Now Krishna is not there, so we don't have that chance. No, it's not like that. Krishna is absolute. Krishna is absolute. The same opportunity is available to anyone and everyone at all times. How? Krishna's footprints the impressions of his footprints are non-different from Krishna. What did Kunti Maharani say? Because the land is decorated by your footprints, therefore everything is beautiful. Similarly, Krishna's name is non-different from Krishna. Remembrance of Krishna is non-different from Krishna. So wherever a pure devotee of Krishna is glorifying Krishna, is chanting Krishna's names, is remembering Krishna, Krishna is present there. And when Krishna is present, everything is present. All opulence, all happiness, all auspiciousness, everything is present when Krishna is present. So our endeavor should be how to bring Krishna in the center. When Krishna is in the center, then everything is in fullness. There is no dearth of anything. So now the next question is, how can we bring Krishna in the center? How can we bring Krishna in the center? So when a pure devotee is chanting the names of the Lord, then Krishna is present there. Krishna says, Tatra tishtami narada yatra gayanti mad bhaktaha. Tatra tishtami narada yatra gayanti mad bhaktaha. Lord Vishnu is telling, or Lord Krishna is telling to Narad Muni that I don't reside in Vaikuntha. Then where do you reside? I reside in that place where my devotees are singing my glories. So I reside in that place where my pure devotees are singing my glories. Now the next question is, who is a pure devotee? Who is a pure devotee? Pure devotee means a devotee who has no desire other than being a servant of Krishna. He has no desire other than being a servant of Krishna. So we are all spirit souls. So for a spirit soul, it is natural to have spiritual desires. To be a servant of Krishna is the natural position of the spirit soul. We are all parts and parcels of Krishna. So it is natural for a spirit soul to desire to be a servant of Krishna. And being a soul, we should have spiritual desires. When we have, so Prabhupada says, like a human being should desire like a human being. A human being should not desire like a dog. You have the food that human beings eat. Do you ever crave to eat the cookies or the biscuits that are meant for dogs? We don't. That is dog food, isn't it? So it's natural for a human being to desire like a human being. But it is unnatural when a human being is desiring for things which are not meant for human being. If he starts desiring like a dog, then that is other desire. So similarly, the real desire for a spirit soul is to desire to be a servant of Krishna. But when he desires some material results, some material enjoyment based on the identification with this body, then these are material desires or other desires. This is not the real desire. So a pure devotee is he who only desires to be a servant of Krishna. And as a matter of fact, even if he is desiring how to progress, how to find out the process, the method of becoming a servant of Krishna, that is also a pure devotee. He is endeavoring to get the desire to be a pure devotee. That is also a pure devotee. That is also pure devotional service. When such a devotee is chanting the names of the Lord, is remembering the Lord, at that place Krishna will be present. And where Krishna is, all opulences are there, because Krishna is Madhava. Madhava means the husband of the goddess of fortune. Goddess of fortune is always at the lotus feet of her husband. So where there is Krishna, goddess of fortune will be there. So there won't be any lacking. Kunti Maharani is thinking, or she's saying, that after you leave, we will not have this opulence anymore. We will not have this beauty anymore. What did Prabhupada say in the purport? That Kunti Devi pointed out these distinguished features and was afraid of ill luck in the absence of the Lord. It's not that the Lord is going to leave, because even if he leaves, he's still there. So there are two ways in which devotees can actually bring Krishna to the center, or they can keep Krishna, or they can stay with Krishna. One is called Sambhoga and the other one is called Vipralambha. Sambhoga means personally associating with Krishna, personally speaking to Krishna, personally seeing Krishna, personally embracing Krishna. This is Sambhoga. And then the other path is Vipralambha. Vipralambha means when Krishna is not present, you are remembering Krishna, you are hankering for Krishna. And in that separation, you are experiencing Krishna. So devotees can actually be with Krishna by both these methods, through Sambhoga, through union, as well as through separation, Vipralambha. Our position is we are in this material world. And in the material world, we don't have, because of our conditioning, we don't have the opportunity to get Sambhoga. Of course, devotees have that option even in the material world, because they are not in the material world, isn't it? Devotees are always in the transcendental platform. But for us who are aspiring, those who are in this material world, those who are conditioned, how can we be with Krishna while we are in this material world? So that is seeing Krishna indirectly, seeing Krishna in this world. You see Krishna in this world. What does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? I am the light of the sun and the moon. So you have to learn to see Krishna through the eyes of the scripture. In scriptures, Krishna says that, the Upanishads say that until the Supreme Lord sees, I cannot see anything. Nobody can see anything until the Lord sees this world. Also we see in the scriptures, in Sri Brahma Samhita it is said, Yachchakshuresha savita sakalagrahanam. Well, what is the eye of the Supreme Lord? The sun. The sun is the eye of the Supreme Lord. This is how we see the Lord. Until and unless the sun rises, we cannot see the world. And the sun is said to be the eye of the Lord. That means until and unless the Lord sees the world, we cannot see the world. So when you see sunlight, you see the eyes of the Lord in this world. And also we hear more about the sun. Yachakshuresha savita sakala grahanam raja samasta suramurti rashesha teja. Who is this sun? This sun is the king of all the planets. And what is the function of the sun? The sun is emanating ashesha teja, unlimited light, heat and light is emitting from the sun. But why is the sun doing this? Yasya Gaya Brahmati Sambrita Kala Chakro. On whose order is the sun traveling only in that particular orbit? Scientists say that if the sun moved, this is from Srila Prabhupada's lecture, if the sun moved a little bit to this side, then the whole universe will be set ablaze. And if the sun moved a little bit to the other side, then the whole universe would be frozen.
What? Yeah.
It's so precise. The sun has to be exactly in its position. And the sun doesn't move a little bit this way or that way, because it will be a calamity. And yet, since time immemorial, for thousands and thousands of years, the sun is traveling in the same orbit without moving this way or that way. Exactly at the same time the sun rises. This is called discipline. What is our observation in this world? Where do you find discipline? Where there is authority, is it not? Where there is authority, there you will see discipline. Out of fear of authority, out of respect for authority. How is it the sun, who is the king of all planets, right? King of all the planets, still in a very disciplined way he's functioning. He's so powerful, he's emitting so much light, but still he will only travel in his orbit, not moving a little bit this way or that way. Yasya Gaya, by the order of the Supreme Lord, he's doing that. So when we see the sun, when we see the movements of the sun, so all the change of the seasons and everything is happening because of the movements of the sun. So where is a chance for a person to not see God? Is there any time when you're not experiencing the sun and sunlight? Even at night you can experience, because there is no sun. The absence of sun reminds you of the sun. But also you see the moon at night. And Krishna says, I am the light of the moon, I am the light of the sun. So Srila Prabhupada is teaching us that this is the way to see God. We cannot come up with our own ideas about sun or about the universe or about how things are functioning. If you want to know God, you have to see God by God's way. And what is God's way? He shows us in the scripture. Srila Prabhupada said, books are the basis. You want to understand God, you want to understand anything, you refer to the books, you refer to the scriptures, to Shastra, Shastra Pramana. Then you can understand God. So this is the indirect way of seeing God. Even if I am not realized, I have not advanced in bhakti, but from Shastra I can understand. I can get this much knowledge, and I can begin my process of bhakti by trying to see God indirectly. And when I make this attempt, then God is present, because I'm seeing God. I'm seeing God in the sun. I'm seeing God in the Pacific Ocean. Or we have the Atlantic Ocean on this side. But the Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean. So We go to the Pacific Ocean, it is so large, it's so big. You can just get drowned in that ocean. It's so powerful. Still, we go on the beach and we are fearless. We know the ocean will not cross its boundary. It will stay on the other side. Who is telling the ocean? Krishna is telling. My dear Pacific Ocean, you're so great, you're so big, but you cannot cross that boundary line. You have to stay on that side. And Pacific Ocean is obeying. So in this way, in every aspect of our life, if we want to be Krishna conscious, we have no limit of knowledge. There's no lack of knowledge. Krishna says, I'm the taste of water, I'm the light of the sun and the moon. And, he says, I'm the seed of all life. So wherever you see life, you can see Krishna, because he's the original seed-giving father. And as soon as we think of Krishna, as soon as we remember Krishna, then Krishna is there. And when Krishna is there, what is the result? Yatra Yogeshwaro Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha. Right? What's the next one? Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, wherever there is Arjun, the supreme archer, what do you find? There will be certainly opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. There will be victory. There will be all opulence. There will be all knowledge when Krishna is present. We just have to somehow or other endeavor in a way to bring Krishna to the center. So Srila Prabhupada also makes a point that, so it's a combination. It's Krishna with the pure devotee. Krishna will come where there's a pure devotee only. Otherwise, Krishna has no interest. Of course, the Supreme Lord is present in every atom. Andantarastha paramanu chayantarastham. Right? He's there in every atom, between two atoms as Paramatma, he's present. Just like government. The influence of government is there in the whole state. Still, when the governor is personally coming, that is a very special occasion. So similarly, the Lord it is by his power. And even he is present as Paramatma in every atom, and everything is functioning. He's present everywhere. But still, he will come personally. He will come personally for his pure devotee. So we should endeavor to practice bhakti in a pure state, in a pure way. Meaning we follow the path of bhakti purely. Again, it boils down to the same thing. Anyabhilashita shunyam. We are endeavoring to remind ourselves that we are the servants of the Supreme Lord. In fact, a servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the Supreme Lord, and follow the procedure which has been given to us very strictly. We should endeavor to follow the principles very strictly. And also one more point is about association. I remember when I was in the Columbus Krishna House, Ohio. In those days, it used to be a ladies' ashram. And practically every week, some sannyasi or a brahmachari or a traveling preacher or a Prabhupada disciple would be invited to the temple. And in a short time of 1 year or 1.5 years, I got so much association, so much inspiration in devotional life because of that association. So that's the point, where there is a pure devotee chanting the glories of the Lord, there Krishna will be present. And when Krishna is present, then everything is there. Nothing is lacking. There are other points also that Srila Prabhupada, there's 2 lectures actually on this text. There are many points, but I think I will stop here and I will open it for discussion. If you would like to share any points on this topic, you're welcome. There's many devotees here. Dronachari Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mother Archana Bhakti. Thank you so much for a very beautiful class. I especially like the point, and I think it's very important for me, I think the audience as well, to the point of the beauty lies within Krishna. And that, when we see beauty, it's because of Krishna's contact with it. And I guess the embodied soul in material consciousness is always trying to become opulent, always trying to become beautiful, wise, famous, strong, and acquire all these. But really it's when we associate with Krishna, so if we see somebody, and we see this like with devotees, those that are really, absorbed in Krishna consciousness, they're just so effulgent. They're so beautiful. You want to be around them. They're attractive, and then the material world is full of people that are just trying to become attractive, but their attractive diminishes because of their disconnection with Krishna. So I really like that. I do have a question though about, so Krishna's, here is saying that Krishna's footprints, by seeing Krishna's footprints, Krishna's presence is there and it's all auspicious. And they're speaking there of like a physical place, that you can go visit. But is that the same true within our life, that by having Krishna present in our life, Krishna's, receiving Krishna within our heart, does that same auspiciousness come?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, that was the whole class about. Yes.
Yeah.
So Srila Prabhupada is making that point. In both the lectures, Srila Prabhupada makes this point that it's not that this was there because of Krishna's physical presence. It is available to us now and at any time, in any place, anywhere. As soon as you take shelter of Krishna, because Krishna is absolute. So whether you chant Krishna's name, whether you are remembering Krishna, whether you're worshipping the Lord, or even as I discussed, you're seeing, that's remembrance of Krishna, isn't it? Wherever you see, if you're seeing Krishna, you're remembering Krishna. But the condition is, it has to be pure, without any ulterior motive. So we can also be remembering Krishna to have some material result. When you're in fear, you may be remembering Krishna, but at that time you will experience Krishna's presence. The condition is you're purely, sincerely calling out to Krishna. So therefore, where there's a pure devotee, because a pure devotee's consciousness is, he's 24 hours remembering Krishna. Whereas when we are not on that platform, sometimes we remember, sometimes we don't. But if you are actually, as you said, inviting Krishna into your heart, and if you're able to, keep Krishna there, then yes, everything is there because Krishna is present personally. Yes, Prabhuji. And also your point about, how Srila Prabhupada makes this point, that at the time, when Prabhupada was spreading Krishna consciousness in the Western world, people would comment that the devotees are bright-faced. They would write in newspapers, the devotees are bright-faced. And in Philadelphia, right, in that lecture, Srila Prabhupada says, one lady asked the devotees, "Are you Americans?" Because generally they don't have this experience that people are so joyful and so beautiful and effulgent. Generally you see people and they are, they don't have a purpose in life, so they look gloomy, they don't look bright faced. So it is obvious. Why is that beauty? I really like the way you said that. That's the point, actually. Wherever you see beauty, you understand that is because of Krishna consciousness. Where Krishna is present, there is beauty. Like that. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. It's amazing. It's really just, I love this topic. Krishna is just so incredibly, absolutely amazing.
Jenny. Thank you. Mataji, Vindhyavali Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you very much for the nice class. As you, like you said, wherever Krishna is there, that happiness and beauty will be there all the time. The way we think. And I would like to know that his footprints, they have some significances, that like, here it says, marks of flag and thunderbolt and then instruments to drive an elephant, like that. Is there any other description for that, and means meaning for that?
For each impression, for each mark, what does that mean? Krishna is unlimited, so I'm sure there is meanings for that also. I don't know. I don't have that information. Maybe, I don't know, Acharya Prabhu or maybe Charuchandra Prabhu, I don't know, other devotees may have that information. You can please share if you have it. I don't know that, Mataji. But yes, you can recognize. So the devotees, the acharyas, they have this information of what the marks are. So when someone claims to be an incarnation of the Lord or the Supreme Lord, they can check. Does this person have these marks? If he has, then they can accept. Yeah. But if they are not there and if they are simply claiming, then you cannot accept such a person. So it's like the identification. You can recognize the Supreme Lord by these marks. Yeah, but the meaning of those marks, I don't know.
Since long time, like a few years back in Denver, somebody gave me this picture of lotus feet of Krishna. And all these marks were there on that. Since then, I was thinking about that. And I'm so curious about to know that what are these marks are under his footprint. Now we are going for his footprints everywhere, like we're missing his, wherever his Vrindavan, his footprints are there and something. But I would like to know what is the significance for that. Because he's special anyway.
Yeah.
So that is why he's having all that. So there might be some reason for that.
Yes, certainly there will be. Yeah, I don't
know. Then here in this translation, Kunti Maharani is saying, but when you leave, it will be no longer to be like that, he says. Now, she says, the marks are there, and the kingdom is now being marked by the impression for your feet, and therefore it appears beautiful.
Yeah.
But when you leave, it will be no longer.
Well, that is the mood of a devotee, Mataji. Out of their humility, a devotee never thinks, like the Goswamis, they say, He Radhe Vraja Devi Kecha Lalite, He Nanda Suno Kutaha. Where are you? Oh Krishna, oh Radharani, oh Lalita, oh Vishaka, where are you? And they're running here and there in Vrindavan. Goshantaviti Sarvato Vrajapure, Kedair Mahavihvale. In great separation, in great, like madmen, they're running, looking. They never feel that, oh, I have realized Krishna. Krishna is in my heart all the time. I'm chanting Krishna's name. Krishna is with me. The more exalted a devotee is, a devotee feels he does not have Krishna. He's always looking for Krishna. So again and again, many devotees' case we will see. They will never think that they have Krishna, right? They don't feel that they are qualified. So Kunti Maharani, in her great devotion, she's saying that if you go away, then of course it's a lesson for us to understand that all beauty is coming because of Krishna. But at the same time, She's always remembering Krishna, so Krishna will never leave her. Krishna says, Vrindavanam parityaja na padam, something like gachet. I don't take even one step out of Vrindavan, Krishna says. But then we see Krishna went to Mathura, Krishna went to Dwaraka. How Krishna is saying that I don't take one step out of Vrindavan? Because in Vrindavan, everyone is completely attracted to Krishna. Not for a moment, they are not with Krishna because of their remembrance. So the gopis, when Krishna goes to the forest in the morning to herd the cows, they are in constant anxiety. Oh, the forest has these stones and pebbles. They are so hard. Krishna's lotus feet are so soft. His feet are so soft that, we consider our breasts to be very hard for his lotus feet. What will happen when he puts his lotus feet on the hard stones of the forest? In great anxiety. And they're going to the rooftops, and then in great anxiousness, they're waiting. When will Krishna return? When will Krishna return? All day long, they're just singing songs about Krishna's activities. This is Vrindavan. So where there is constant remembrance of Krishna, Krishna is there. So similarly, Kunti Maharani is remembering Krishna. Out of her humility, she's saying, oh, Krishna, you're going away. But actually, she's never separated from Krishna. So that is the lesson for us. In our position, you can be with Krishna by engaging in devotional activities. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, Vandanam, Padyam, Pada Sevanam. Of course. So we can do Shravanam, Kirtanam, Archanam, Vandanam, we can do. Offering prayers, right? And hearing about Krishna, chanting Krishna's glories, remembering what we have heard, this much we can do. Worshipping the Lord. And by doing this, and if we are doing it purely, without any ulterior motives, then Krishna's devotees saying Krishna is there means Krishna is there. Right? So if we are doing this, then Krishna is there. And if Krishna is there, then everything is there. All beauty, all opulence, all victory, right? All preaching, everyone will come. Everyone will get attracted because Krishna is here. In Mayapur, Prabhupada said, you simply have to make sure that you take care of, worship the deities and let this chanting go on. Already it is very, people are knowing, it has become very famous. This was back then. In the 70s, early 70s, that in Navadvip, people are already coming and asking, where is the American Krishna temple? No other temple is opulent as our temple. Prabhupada said, people are already asking in Navadvip, they come there and they ask, where is the, they call like the Videsi temple, right? The American temple. And Prabhupada said it will become even more glorious, more attractive. Why? Because Krishna is here. You simply have to make sure that you practice this Krishna consciousness purely, the way it was given to us. And by that, it will expand more and more and more. And we are seeing how it is expanding over all these decades, the Krishna consciousness movement. So what we have in our hands is to hold on to the process that has been given to us by the Guru Parampara. Practice it sincerely without diluting it, without deleting or adding anything. And all success will come because Krishna is there coming to us through the Parampara. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, Krishna Mata, very nice class. So we heard in this class of how devotees can remember Krishna even when he's not there through his footprints, or like you mentioned, the sun. But in this material world, there's also so many competing symbols that we see that remind us of other things, like company logos and things like that. So how do you suggest we as aspiring devotees focus on those symbols that remind us of Krishna, and how do we sort of keep ourselves from getting entangled in those other ones? Like, for example, we consider that our food comes from the grocery store. So it's not that we're worshiping Krishna for fulfilling our necessities. We're giving our gratitude and our hard-earned money to the grocery stores and the utility companies and stuff like this. The things that we consider our necessities, they have a different name. And so we find ourselves sort of, not directly, but definitely subconsciously worshiping them, because that's where what we consider our necessities come from. So with all those other reminders out there of material nature, what's your advice on how we aspiring devotees can stay more focused on the actual source of all of these things?
We have to simplify our lifestyle, Prabhuji. We just have to work in that direction. Srila Prabhupada said, simple living, high thinking. Because it is natural. Krishna gave us the Varnashram system. Chatur Varnam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. So if we move to that type of lifestyle where we depend on the land and on the cows, then, because that is the system given, we can gradually make progress naturally. Whereas all these other things, they're distracting us away from Krishna. So in the long run, right, little by little, we can start making adjustments in our existing condition as far as possible to depend less and keep moving in that direction. But at the same time, taking shelter of the holy name, that is the savior in this age, because many times things are beyond our control. We can make some adjustments, but we may not be able to make immediate changes. But certainly we should be moving in that direction. At least internally, we have to start meditating on simplifying our lifestyle. And while doing that, we have to constantly take shelter of Krishna by chanting, and also the preaching mission, that's also very powerful. So we are ourselves taking shelter of the holy name, taking shelter of this process. We are sharing it with others and also awakening this, bringing this awareness both within ourselves and the people around us about the detrimental effects of this type of lifestyle. This is not a complete cycle, right? This is a linear system. It is not a closed system. So linear system means you're just using up the resources, but you're not replenishing. Whereas in a closed system, like when you take agriculture, in agriculture, if you're simply sowing seeds and you're getting your crop and you use it up, and again you sow seeds and again you use it up, what happens after some time? The earth is depleted of all its nutrients. So then what would be a closed system? You keep a cow. So when you keep a cow, the earth is producing grain for you, and also the things which you are not using yourself, the grass that can be fed to the cows, the husk can be fed to the cows. And the cows are giving manure. They're giving you milk, but they're also giving manure. And this is fertilizing the ground, the earth. So without depending on anything else, simultaneous, this is a closed system. So such systems are actually sustainable. They will continue. But this current system of lifestyle it won't last long. So it's better that we don't depend on it as far as possible. But again, as I said, it's not possible, may not be possible to just start right away. Maybe it might be possible if we all came together and started, on a higher level, with proper leadership, guiding the devotees and the society at large in that direction. Okay.
Thank you.
Probably. Thank you. All right. So if there's no questions, we can stop here. Dronacharya Prabhu, do you have any announcements?
No announcements specifically for today. Just remind everybody the temple is back open. For the last 2 weeks, we've been having our Sunday feast in person, so we're going to continue that. There is rumors that the mask mandate will be lifted soon within the Philadelphia region. So we'll keep everybody abreast of that when we make that transition. That is kind of Philadelphia. But anyway, we hope you all have a wonderful Krishna conscious day. And thank you again, Mother Archana Bhakti, for making our day beautiful, because you gave us Krishna today. So thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Krishna,
Thank you very much, Mataji.
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnaveभ्यो Namo Namaः.
Hare